Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is January 10th, 1998. And how's your week been?
My week's been fantastic.
Has it? Fantastic?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
How about you?
Good. We've done some fun things, you know.
We have.
So we've cruised the mall. We've been to the mall at least a couple times.
I went to the pet store today and I saw a hedgehog in real life for the first time.
That's right.
I thought it only existed in blue cartoon form.
Right, Sonic. Did you feed it some gold coins?
Sure. Because that's what they let you do in the pet store. Feed the pets.
Yeah, gold coins.
Sure. Why not?
I don't know. I fed an Italian man some
What the fuck?
some chicken and stars soup one time.
Did you?
And he started blinking on and off with an interior light.
What is happening?
And I heard this fun music. You don't get this, do you?
Is this a commercial?
No, I gave
I don't know what's happening.
I gave him stars, an Italian man. I gave him some stars. And he started blinking.
What?
And then I heard do 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 do. It's like when Mario gets a star in the game. It's invincible.
Oh, wow. That was so bad.
Come on.
Oh, I cannot be the only person who did not get that.
I'll bet you're the only one in the listening audience that didn't immediately understand what I was going for.
Sure. Because you always make so much sense, you know.
Speaking of new developments,
Yeah.
how about an ever-expanding orbit, Carol?
What is that?
Jerry Peterson stands in his cluttered office above a bump shop in Royal Oak.
A bump shop?
Yeah, you
What
know.
is a bump shop?
Oh, come on, a bump shop. You don't know what a bump shop is?
No.
You know, like they fixes bumpers on cars.
Or you do bumps of drugs? Like what?
Exactly. It's where you sell cocaine. Come on, you know what a bump shop
I
is.
do not. I'm sorry. I've never, ever heard that term before.
We've spent time in Royal Oak.
Mm-hmm. I've spent lots of time in Royal Oak, but I've never heard of a bump shop.
It's like a collision repair thing.
Okay. Sure.
As far as I know. Anyway, muttering about the latest underground crazes, bloodletting, and body modification.
Yeah.
You can read all about it in the January issue of Orbit magazine. He's looking to expand. As his Detroit underground tabloid gains national attention, Jerry Peterson launches new ventures.
Bloodletting and body modification?
That's right.
I want to read that article.
A true fad has to shock people, he snorts. Above all else, the wild-eyed, bushy-haired, rumple-clothed publisher and editor of the monthly entertainment tabloid values shock. His irreverent, off-the-wall remarks have earned him lawsuits from slammed celebs and death threats from anonymous readers.
Wow.
I get psycho mail on juicy fruit wrappers, he says.
Interesting.
In the pages of his magazine, he calls people fat. He calls people ugly. He calls people things that others might think deep in the recesses of their naughty juvenile minds but would never say.
Wow.
He blatantly kisses up to advertisers. He's outrageous and hilarious. I just tell the truth, he laughs. Yeah, okay.
If you kiss up to advertisers, then I don't know about that.
I mean, like, I don't read Orbit magazine, so maybe I'm not the demographic, but I don't know. I get the whole Howard Stern-esque I'm just going to be crazy and outrageous, and I know it's not politically correct to call people fat or to call them ugly or to say that, Barbra Streisand sucks or whatever. It's not politically
Who would say that?
It's not politically correct, but I'm going to do it because, I'm edgy.
Okay.
And so I get all that. I get where that's coming from, but I don't know. I mean, spending your life just being mean to people for the sake of being mean, I don't know. I'm not the joke police, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you shouldn't but I don't know. When you use celebrities as the butt of your joke, and they're not like uber powerful. You know what I mean? There's a difference between like what George Carlin used to do, where he'd talk about like politicians or like billionaires, like the rich elites and stuff like that, and try to kind of not bring them down, but humble them. Like speak truth to power, as they say, as cliche as that is. There's a difference between that and picking on some celebrity. And I know celebrities have a modicum of power and a modicum of fame and a modicum of riches, but it's like, I don't know. Just to be mean for the sake of being mean, not to make a broader societal point. I don't know. I think it's just, I don't think there's a whole lot of value in that, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, that I'm not the biggest fan of Howard Stern or that kind of humor. So,
Right.
I definitely agree. I still think the one article he was talking about sounds interesting. But
Well, yeah.
I don't read the magazine either. So,
No, I'm not saying that if you read the magazine, you're a fucking asshole.
are you sure?
Yes, I am. I'm talking more about this guy. Okay. And the praise for him of like, oh, he says things people are only thinking of. It's like some thoughts should be inside thoughts,
Right.
not outside thoughts. Anyway, speaking of outside thoughts, I want your opinion on this. Let food critic gauge Burger King's fries.
Okay. What are they doing to their fries?
Driving home from a Burger King, stuffing their crispy new rice spray coated French fries in my mouth. I wondered what Jeffrey Stingotten thinks about the current fry war between Burger King and McDonald's.
McDonald's will always win.
I don't know. Burger King's fries are pretty good. I don't think you've had them recently.
Well, I mean, they are pretty good, but McDonald's are the best of anybody ever. Because they're, crispy and crunchy and greasy and salty and amazing.
They're often not crispy. Those shoestring McDonald's fries. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
They're often not crispy. They're often soggy.
Oh, I've never had soggy McDonald's fries. I don't know what you're talking about.
Then you're not a human. If you've never had a soggy McDonald's French fry, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it's not.
You're the luckiest person in the planet if you have avoided a soggy McDonald's French fry for your entire existence.
I wouldn't say they're all necessarily crispy, but I certainly haven't had any that are wet.
My opinion, it's like picking between Michigan and Nebraska. Both great football teams, both great French fries. You gotta fight on your hands trying to decide the best. Matter of taste and who has the ball last. Or last fry. Yeah, it's stupid. But anyway, so I thought you'd have an opinion on...
The cat is breaking into the office.
Wow. You were here the other day when we were recording, and you got your purr on the audio. I listened back, and it's definitely there.
He used his super long talons to open the door.
Right. But you can't come in here every single time. You're distracting. Anyway.
But you're also cute and fluffy.
Jerry Seinfeld says time isn't dreamy.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I agree. Time is not dreamy. I don't know what the fuck context that was supposed to be in, though.
Yeah, you hear how she's not on the microphone anymore? You hear our audio completely went out? It's because she's petting a cat.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
We find Jerry Seinfeld on the cover of Time Magazine's January issue, and here's what he has to say. When you're a kid...
What are you doing?
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I got to do the phrase first, though. What's the deal? When you are a kid starting out as a stand-up comic, you don't dream about the cover of Time magazine. You dream about the 9 o'clock spot on Saturday night at the comic strip. You don't think about somebody taking your place alongside Hitler, Jonas Salk, and Prozac.
The fuck?
I don't know. Did any of you get that? Did you ever even understand that?
No.
Okay. Anyway, so he's just saying that's not what you dream about.
Right.
Let's see. What could have been better than to spend New Year's Eve sitting next to George Stevens Jr.? Carol?
I don't know who that is. I don't really understand the context again that is going on right now.
At a neat pre-fireworks party in the Barbados house of former Ambassador Harry Grunwald and his wife Louise. George, founder of American Film Institute. He's the founder of the American Film Institute.
Sure.
Masterminds the Kennedy Center honors each year. And he has just wrapped a movie in cooperation with Mike Medavoy and Laura Zinsky's Fox 2000. All these worthies had the wit to remake the World War II novel The Thin Red Line into a feature film. Oh, good.
Okay. Is that something that we'll be watching?
I think that's just Liz Smith bragging that she was at a New Year's Eve party. That golden oldie, Miss Hawn herself, Goldie Hawn, will present the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Career Achievement to Shirley MacLaine at the 55th Annual Golden Globes to be telecast on NBC January 18th.
Nice. See? And that was something I understood all of what you said. Yay.
The daughter of Sybil Shepherd and Davis Ford, Clementine Ford, age 18, in this year's Miss Golden Globe Hollywood Foreign Press Award, whatever.
What?
It's a bunch of stuff.
I guess the newspaper is full of a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to finish with today's test, Carol.
Okay.
In 1759, Martha Dandridge Custis and what president were to be married? What president to be were married?
What's the date again?
1759. Was it Adams?
Martha Washington, right?
Yeah, you got it. Didn't even need to give it to you. In 1838, where did Samuel Morse first publicly demonstrate his telegraph? Morristown, Oyster Bay, or Rye?
I don't know.
Take a guess of one of those three.
Rye.
No, Morristown, New Jersey, baby.
Was it named because of that, or was it already called that?
No, it was already called that. It's spelled differently, too. In 1912, what became the 47th state? Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah. New Mexico. In 1919, the 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt, died in Morristown, Oyster Bay, or Rye?
Rye.
Oyster Bay, New York.
Fuck
age
you.
60. Fuck me.
Is what I said.
I don't know why I didn't make the history. I didn't kill Teddy Roosevelt in Oyster Bay. And finally, in 1945, George Herbert Walker Bush married Barbara Pierce in Morristown, Oyster Bay, or Rye?
Rye.
Rye, New York. You got it.
I got one. Ding, 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 ding. Where's my prize?
Yeah, I'm your prize, baby.
Woohoo.
Now, before we talk about that prize of a movie we saw, I figured since this movie is just filled with love, it's time for Massive Love.
All right, let's do it.
All right. What are we missing? Or wait, we are what is missing. Sorry.
What?
We are what is missing. Attractive, intelligent, single white female with a warm smile seeking a single male for companionship in a similar age, 50 plus.
What the fuck?
Now here's what I think's messed up about this. First of all, exactly how many people are in this single white female?
Right? Like holy shit!
It's Sybil. It's her and all her personalities. We are what is missing. Attractive, intelligent, single white female with a warm smile and a kitchen full of knives, seeking a single male for companionship in a similar of age.
Yeah, that's weird too.
50 plus.
So she's 50 plus is what she's saying.
I guess, but plus what? Is she 50? Is she what is similar of age?
Yeah, because we don't know how old she is. I mean, she's telling us that she considers 50 plus similar of age, so.
Is 50 plus the number of personalities she has?
Maybe.
I mean, like, what the fuck?
How many voices are in your head?
We are what is missing.
We are Borg.
Exactly. Now, how about this one? Philadelphia writer looking for an angel.
Okay.
That's the entirety of the ad.
What the fuck?
Now, this dude says he's a writer.
Well, that explains.
First of all, this is a Detroit paper, everybody. We live in the metro Detroit area.
Right.
This is a Philadelphia writer. He's ran through all the women in Philadelphia, apparently. He's moved on to Detroit. He's a writer, and he wrote less than a sentence. I mean, he wrote a complete sentence. But, I mean, like, what the fuck?
But, I mean, the few words explains it because he has no money because he's a writer.
I see where you're going with that one. He's looking for an angel. For what?
See, that kind of shit just pisses me off because no woman is going to be like, oh, well, I'm an angel. Let me write you back.
Right.
That obviously describes me.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking for an angel. For what? Does he need to be rescued?
It feels almost like a prank.
It feels like he wants someone to be a patron to him. He wants a patron of the arts, you know? He wants somebody to pay for his stuff.
So he wants a sugar mama.
Exactly. That's what he's really saying.
Well, then he should say it.
Speaking of patrons and sugar mamas, though, why don't you guys listen to this for a second? Nope. Hi, everybody. It's your favorite podcasters, Mark and Carol from Retro Leafy Podcast.
Hey, what's up?
We're just popping in here real quick to let you know about our Patreon, patreon.com/retrolatefee. Do you love Retro Late Fee and just wish there was always more? Because there is more over there. We've got Back into the Future, where we talk about stuff from nowadays.
Right.
We've got Lost in Time, One Day, 1 Year, and we record our thoughts on that like it's the regular podcast.
Maybe we'll do Shakespeare someday.
Exactly. And as a special for you guys, if we get 100 Patreon subscribers, Carol, tell them what they'll get.
Some of you have asked about bringing back the mixtape. The mixtape is where we talk about music that's popular 25 years ago. And it was actually one of my favorite segments to make. So I would love it if you guys would subscribe so we can make it again.
Yeah, if we get 100 Patreon subscribers, we will bring back the mixtape. So go to patreon.com/retrolatefee. Help support us and this beautiful creation that we put out for you every week.
So we can keep making more and more episodes. Soon it'll be every day.
All right, now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Later.
I'm sure that was very informative, whatever we put in there. Anyway, so moving on. 911. That's how this starts.
Oh, jeez.
Married white male cop.
So, what the fuck? You're married and your ad is a 911 emergency? Fuck you. Okay, go ahead.
Married white male cop seeking smart, fun, sensuous, spelled incorrectly, white female, 29 to 40, for casual fun, safe in the arms of the law.
Wow.
Nice couple welcome, Oakland or Macomb.
Nice couple? So
Yeah.
this is one married cop looking for a couple or a married cop and his wife looking for a couple?
No. He's so... what I think is, first of all, it's a 911. So I think that's hilarious that he just starts it with 911.
Right.
Like, hey, call 911. Maybe that's his number. Married white male, obviously. We talked about that. And he's a cop. So he wants you to literally fuck the police.
Oh, my God.
Seeking smart, fun, sensuous white female, in her 30s, for casual fun. Safe in the arms of the law, which I think is hilarious. Nice couple welcome.
So he's looking for a single or a couple.
Correct.
So maybe he's bi?
I guess.
He wants to be the guest star in the menage?
Yeah, sure.
It's weird.
But what I think is funny is he says Oakland or Macomb. Those are counties in Michigan.
Right.
If you're keeping score. Do we think then that he's a cop in Wayne County? Trying to keep it out of the... Because that's the Tri-County area. Everybody.
Yeah, maybe.
Is he trying to keep it out of his own county? So that it doesn't end up on his own police blotter?
This is a Wayne County newspaper, so...
Just
that
saying.
would make sense.
Fuck the police. Fuck them. Make an offer!
What?
Exclamation point.
No.
Handsome, desirable white male, 42, barely used.
Oh, jeez. Come on.
All original equipment. Current style. Available below market value to cunning white female shopper.
Wow. Wow.
What do you think of that, Carol?
I think this guy sucks at, like, trying to make himself sound desirable by fancying up the fact that he's practically a virgin at 42 years old.
He's barely used, baby.
Right? Like,
all
that's
original
awful.
equipment. He hasn't had a penis replacement or anything. What does current style mean? Sir, if you're 42 years old, you're not the current style. Come
Right?
on.
I bet
You
you
have
that
to
this
know
guy plays D&D in his mom's basement still at 42 years old. That's what I think. That's how current his style is going to be.
What's below his market value? What's below market value for a 42-year-old been with one woman guy?
Jeez. Make me an offer. Like, wait a minute. Is he prostituting himself?
Yeah. Make me an offer!
No.
Safe, plain, sexy, and gifted married man, white man. Sorry, white man, just white. 54, looking for married, single, black female for friendship and possibly more.
How can he be both plain and sexy?
He's going for a niche here.
Okay.
He's going for a niche that he thinks, I don't know if it exists or not, but he thinks it exists. Of single or married, I guess, black female. But black is the prime thing here. Black females who are looking for plain guys. Quote unquote plain guys. Plain white bread guys. He thinks there's a niche for that. I don't know if there is, but he thinks that. When he thinks to himself about black guys or Mexican guys or guys that have a tan, he thinks muy caliente. That's what he thinks. He thinks white, plain. That's what he's thinking.
Okay, but nobody's looking specifically for plain.
Carol, don't you think that the two sexiest ways that you could describe a guy are safe and plain?
Oh, for sure.
Because that's the first two things he says, safe and plain. Does he feel like that he's looking for a black female who needs to be rescued or something like that? I'm safe. It's not dangerous with me. And I'm plain.
Maybe. Oh, my goodness. What a dork.
Oh, my God. You might as well just say, you could have saved yourself 2 words by combining it into one and just said mayonnaise.
Ew. That's gross.
The fuck, man? Looking for friendship and possibly more. You're not getting any more. You're safe and plain.
Yeah, that's like the recipe for the friend zone right there.
Yeah, girls want to feel like there's the illusion of not being safe while being safe at the same time.
Girls want to feel safe while being dragged around by their hair.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. All right, last one. Queen-sized female. Wait, queen-sized what?
What?
Queen-sized F. And then it says single black male.
What? Queen-sized F single black male.
I don't get this. So, queen-sized female, single, like, it's queen-sized female, period. Then, new thought, I guess. Single black male, 50, 6 foot, 250 pounds. Oh, he's seeking a queen-sized female. seeks a queen-size female, 200 to 400 pounds.
Wow.
30 to 58, race open for open-minded and consistent friendship.
You know what excites me about that?
No.
Is I have considered myself queen-sized for, like, my whole life, pretty much.
Okay, sure.
And I do not fit his requirement.
No, you are under 200
I am under 200 pounds. Yeah, of course I'm under 400 pounds. I said I'm under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So
You're not even close, so.
like,
But,
yeah,
that's.
he's got some issues.
And the thing is like, he's doing all this. He's 56 foot, he's 250 pounds or whatever, which is, depending on how much muscle he has, I mean, you can be, at 6 feet tall, you could be pudgy at 250 pounds, or you could be pretty jacked and fairly lean, so it depends. But he clearly wants a large woman. But usually this kind of fetish is sexual, he says, for consistent friendship. For open-minded and consistent friendship.
Any guy who specifies like that is not just looking for friendship.
So why not say that then? I don't understand.
Do they need to play a game where they pretend they don't want to? I don't know.
I guess.
I think some people do.
Maybe they feel as if they need to, I don't know, like, maybe they feel like they need to hide it away from their friends.
Or just play hard to get or coy.
Coy.
Like, I just want to be friends, but you have to be hot to me. So,
Yeah, I don't know either. Anyway, speaking of I don't know, Carol, we watched a movie.
he did. I hope you know something.
I know some things. I know it was called As Good as It Gets.
Yeah.
I know they used the title of the movie in the movie.
They did.
Love when they do that.
With Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt.
Yeah. And Greg Kinnear.
And Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Those are the only, like, big name people that I know.
Okay. Yeardley Smith was in it.
I don't know who that is.
For a minute. She's the voice of Bart Simpson.
Okay.
Bartholomew Simpson.
Oh, is she that little girl? That,
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. She's not. She's the voice of Lisa Simpson.
Right. But yeah, she's the one that was like his secretary or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
So
She had like 2 scenes.
okay. So this movie is about a guy who is fucking crazy.
Yep.
And this waitress who's like the most stressed out person in the whole world,
Yeah.
basically.
So it's like both characters are you. Fucking crazy and stressed out.
Right? Yeah, match made in heaven. Both the people that live in my head on screen. It's perfect.
And the waitress's name is Carol.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't hear a lot of carols anymore, so it's kind of cool. What?
Oh, I heard a bunch because it was just December. It's just Christmas time. Heard a lot of carols. Carol of the Bells.
No, I love Jack Nicholson. He's one of my favorite actors. So
Yeah, you do.
I enjoyed the movie, if for no other reason than I got to like watch Jack Nicholson for 2.5 hours. But
And I don't like Jack Nicholson at all.
really,
Never have.
what? You're lying. You're just fucking with me, right?
Yes, I am.
What? Why does it bother you so much?
Because I don't like how you're playing with your hands.
I'm just playing with my ring. What's the problem?
Why?
Because it's something to do with my fingers.
What is this?
My little niece left it in the bathroom, and I've been wearing it on my pinky for days.
Oh, I've never. I was gonna say I've never seen this.
She left it in the bathroom, and then she left it on my desk, and I just decided it's mine now.
What if that ring is as good as it gets? Anyway, so I want to know what the hell the psychology of this dude is.
He has OCD.
Sure, and you can explain to the folks what OCD is.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, where
Which
you have
means?
anxiety that needs to be like tended to by doing these, compulsive behaviors. For him, it was locking the door 5 times and turning the light switch and
5 times
wearing gloves that he then threw away every single time. It's a good thing he's rich. He would lose his mind if he wasn't. Fresh bar of soap every time he washes his hands.
Yeah, he washed his hands once and then threw it away. He also washes his hands in like scalding hot water, which, by the way, I've talked to a doctor about this before. Doesn't matter. Temperature of the water doesn't matter.
I wouldn't think so.
Can be cold, can be hot, does not matter. He said, wash your hands. Hot water doesn't do any more good cleaning than cold water does as far as washing your hands go.
Well, yeah, because you can't get it hot enough if you're doing it on your own body.
He said boiling, boiling kills more germs, but you're not going to have boiling water on your hands. You'll have 3rd-degree burns.
Right.
He said, so it doesn't matter. Whatever is comfortable for you is short of boiling is worthless. He didn't say worthless, but he said it's essentially all the same.
Right.
The soap is what gets you clean. So because all the dirt gets attracted to the soap and then it gets washed off your hands. So that's just a tip for everybody out there. And if you wash your hands in hot water all the time, your skin gets really dry.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
Anyway, so he new bar of soap every time.
Oh, he also won't step on cracks.
Correct. But my point is not about the OCD.
Okay.
My question is, and obviously we're going to spoil the movie, so if you haven't seen it, it's very
Pause
good.
this and go watch it.
It's very good. We recommend it.
Yes.
So, at the beginning of the movie, the very beginning of the movie, the first thing that we see him do is grab this cute little dog
Yeah.
who's pissing in the hallway, and he doesn't like it. By the way, also, you're a bad pet owner.
Right.
If your dog is pissing in the hallway.
Agreed.
But
They were having a party, though. I think the dog just got out.
I guess, but I mean...
It sounded like it's a thing that he does.
Yeah. So he was trying to lure him into the elevator. Dog was too smart for that. So instead, Verdell is the name of the dog. So he picks the dog up and throws it down the garbage chute.
Yeah.
Now,
Not a great start.
horribly cruel.
Yes.
He then insults black people everywhere by stereotyping Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right.
and then insults homosexuals. He seems like a complete asshole. Yet, this asshole, as we find throughout the film, has this huge capacity for being nice because of these big things that he does and some small things that he does.
Yeah.
He is considerate of other people's feelings. Do you think... I mean, and the thing is like... Well, we'll get into other things that I want to say, but
Okay.
but this comes from him. These are decisions that he makes. And I just don't understand it. The same person that can be this cruel to a dog and this racist and homophobic and everything is the same person doing all this nice stuff. It doesn't... What shaped this dude?
He's not the same person. That's the point. He goes through a lot of change during this movie and a lot of character growth.
But what character growth did he go through before he got the doctor for Helen Hunt's
Well,
child?
that was totally selfish. He
You
wasn't.
think so?
He was not doing that for her. He was doing that for him because he wanted her to come back to work. The waitress has a sick son. He has asthma. And
some other things wrong with him that are not specified. Could be allergies, could be something else. We're not sure.
yeah. But basically, he has a lot of breathing issues. And so she is often exhausted at work. It's come up a lot. This guy insists, the main character, insists on sitting in her section being waited on by her every day. So
it's part of his OCD.
Yeah. So he listens and learns stuff about her without her directly telling him at first. And so he knows about the sick child. He makes a stupid comment about how we're all going to die soon, your son too.
He makes a lot of stupid comments.
A lot of stupid comments. He's very socially inept. But no, he just wanted her back in the fucking diner.
I don't agree.
Okay.
Because before he sends the child there,
The doctor.
the doctor there, he starts for the child. He starts talking to her, asking about her son and everything. He gets like distracted because of the bacon and everything. He also gets forced to take the dog on when his neighbor gets beat up, and he starts bonding with the dog like hardcore.
Well, because he's incredibly lonely. I mean, the movie starts off and you can see how isolated he is, and he's a writer, and he just stays in his house and writes all the time.
And I think he was yearning for some kind of connection.
Yeah.
And I think this connection with the dog is what started it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm saying in the beginning, he's very self-centered, self-absorbed. Everything he does is motivated for him. But then he's basically forced into these situations where he's helping people, and then he's getting to know people, and then he starts to care about them. And then he feels good about that. Like, he tells her, you make me want to be a better man. You know, that's the change in him. He's trying to be better for her. Yeah. Because he wants her. And that also is kind of a selfish motivation. Yeah. So
I also think that it's like, it's a little difficult for me to believe that this guy with these problems is a good writer.
I agree.
Because, and it's very clear, he is a very successful writer. He's written 62 books. He's
very rich.
They mostly seem like romance type books.
Which makes no sense.
He's made a lot of money for the publishing company and everything. And we know a few things about him. One, he, in a scene that I think is very cute, actually, he and showcases what a good actor Jack Nicholson is. His friend, and I'll come back to my point in a second, but the guy next door, Greg Kinnear, who is a gay man, and again, kudos to the director, kudos to Greg Kinnear, kudos to everyone involved in crafting that character, that they didn't go for a bunch of stereotypes. Yeah. You could tell in very subtle mannerisms that he was gay at certain points, even without them coming right out and saying it, although they do say it, a lot. But, very, played in a believable way, not in a over-the-top garish way, and respectfully. So that was good. But anyway, so he gets beaten up by Skeet Ulrich from Scream. And he said, he starts beating him up, and he's like, "This is for Sydney." And Greg Kinnear's like, "I don't know who that is." And so anyway, he's got to go to his parents' house in Maryland to ask for money. They stop the car. So Helen Hunt's like, well, let me stop the car so I can listen to your sad story about your parents. Because he's like, let me tell you what happened to my parents. And while he's telling the story, Jack Nicholson, like a little fucking 8-year-old boy, is sitting in the back seat jealous of this connection that they're having. And he keeps trying to butt in. He's like, my old man was bad too. And yeah. So one thing that we know that he says in this conversation is that his father was emotionally absent as a child, or to him as a child. But if he played the note wrong on a piano or whatever, would wrap his hands. So he was kind of abusive, physically abusive too. So we know that about him.
And go ahead.
And what?
11 years.
11 years what?
His father stayed in his bedroom for 11 years.
That's what he says, yeah.
So I'm just saying that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's why I didn't highlight it as part of my point.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So we know that his dad was abusive to him and everything, and very demanding, right? Mm-hmm. We also know that he has OCD, which is a very regimentated kind of thing. And I don't get how someone growing up in that environment with this disease, with the personality that we're presented, becomes a writer, first of all, even thinks about that as a career path. If you think about, you have a parent that's like very demanding of you to be precise and stuff like that. Writing is not a precise thing at all, really. It's very different than this kind of regimented stuff, right? So it's, and I'm not saying people with OCD can't. I see the way you're looking at me. I'm not saying people with OCD can't be writers. I'm saying that I'm sure there are many OCD writers out there. I'm saying that someone with the background that we're given and the personality and the persona that we're given, it doesn't seem very likely that they'd be a writer.
Right.
And it doesn't, to be a writer, you have to understand people. You have to understand people in a very deep way. And you have to be at home with humanity. And this guy is not at all.
Well, yeah, for sure. It is surprising, especially like this one woman who's a fan of his, and she says, "How do you write women so well?" Which is even more confusing because it's he doesn't even know how to talk to this waitress.
Right.
And he's like, "I take a man and I take away reason and accountability." Mm-hmm. First of all, that wouldn't be writing women
That's
well.
pretty accurate, but did you recognize who that was, by the way?
No.
From Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No.
Yeah, she was in the first couple episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the blonde one.
Okay.
That ends up getting killed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I kind of picture it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can give that to you that's not a very realistic part of his character.
I just don't understand where it comes from. That's a writer being like, what job? A writer, because I'm a writer, so I'll make them a writer because I understand that.
Well, because they want him to do something that would make him both rich and isolated.
Yeah, that's true, and that is a good. It's a good profession for that, but. Oh, it's actually being a writer is not a good profession to be rich, but you got to be real.
If you're lucky,
yeah, you got to be real lucky.
Good.
But anyway, now what we don't know is we don't know what his life was like before.
Yeah, we know nothing between childhood and adulthood.
How long has he been like this, and everything? We don't know.
And what happened to make him like this?
Exactly, because usually this comes from somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Now maybe it's genetic. Maybe his dad. Part of them. And talking about his dad, 11 years in his room or whatever, maybe that was part of, his dad might have horrible anxiety or something.
That's true. But I also think there's a lot of, personality disorder issues going on here. It's it is not just anxiety. This guy is very narcissistic.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that, OCD, as far as I know, I mean, you know more about this stuff than I do, but OCD doesn't make you an asshole. Too.
No.
He says a lot of these things, a lot of things that are just like you said, he says to the woman, he's like, "Oh, we're all going to die. I'm going to die. We're all going to die. Sounds like your son's going to die real soon." And it's that's not OCD. That's just being a blunt fucking ass.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's something else wrong. There's multiple things wrong with this man.
Right. He needs a lot of therapy.
Yes.
Which is why I don't know if this relationship is going to work out.
Well, I mean, she already doesn't think it's going to work. She keeps telling him it's not going to work. I think she's just desperate to get laid, and she's very grateful to him, and he does some sweet things that make him seem endearing. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's not going to work. Maybe he'll gain some health from this. Some experience, some understanding.
I think if they broke up, it would destroy him.
You think?
If they started dating and then she broke his heart, do you think he could ever come back? He would retreat way farther into OCD.
Well, then I think he's screwed because there's no way they're staying together. She has a child. I mean, how is he ever going to handle a child?
That's the other thing I didn't like about the movie. I loved a lot of things about the movie.
It's a great movie.
But that's the other thing that I wish they would have done maybe a little bit differently in the movie. We get one scene of him saying one thing to the child, and the child not responding at all, and that's it.
Yeah,
there should be a scene. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly like Jerry Maguire or whatever, where Tom Cruise fucking falls in love with this kid or whatever. But there should have been at least one scene where he bonds with the child in some way.
Yeah.
I thought that they were going to do that. At the beginning of the movie, she goes on a date with this dude that wants to fuck her. And she lives in a tiny Brooklyn apartment.
1 bedroom, I think.
With her mother. and her son.
Wait, does her mom live there too?
Yes.
Does her mom have a bedroom? Like, I'm just like trying to understand the layout here.
I think yes. I think she lets her mom have a bedroom,
and her son has a bedroom, and
she
then she
sleeps on the
okay.
couch. Yeah, I think that's how it goes.
Okay, so 2-bedroom apartment.
But they put up curtains.
Yeah.
There's curtains, no doors, to separate stuff, right? So they close the curtains and everything. This guy, I don't blame him for not wanting to have sex with her after all this stuff happens, but the kid's coughing. The mom can hear them. There's no privacy. She's got vomit on her thing.
Well, yeah, she gets up to go check on her kid and he vomits on her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And, she's like, but even while she's in the other room, he's like, maybe you should check on her. And even while she's he's like rolling his eyes and shit like that and everything. And he seems kind of like he might be kind of an asshole. He also seems young, way young for her, even though Jack Nicholson's definitely old for her.
Right.
But he comes to her apartment late in the movie. And they close the curtains and stuff and everything, right? And I didn't think they were going to have sex or anything. But I thought kid was going to start coughing. And they were going to juxtapose the beginning with the guy just rolling his eyes saying you should check on him or whatever. With him being like, hey, let me. And him going in there and talking to him or whatever. I know you're shaking your head and everything, but we needed that scene of him interacting with the child, even if she went in there first and he came in behind her and was like, hey, are you okay? And actually showed some compassion to the child as well. We needed that scene.
I mean, sure, but that doesn't fit his character.
But it could have been a moment of growth for him, too.
He doesn't like germs. He doesn't like being touched. He doesn't, you think he's going to go in a room where a kid is coughing? Fuck that.
But he slowly starts to get over that.
Yeah, at the very, very end of the movie, we do see that, yes.
And one thing that I love is that this movie takes mental illness somewhat seriously, I think.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like, oh, the power of love saved him. He mentions, I've started taking the pills.
To become a better man.
My doctor says, sure, that's the motivation. But part of why he's getting better is because he's actually taking the medication that helps with this mental illness. So it's not all just, I'm happy and your love's doing it for me.
Right.
He's getting medical help too. And I liked that. I liked that they acknowledged that.
But yeah, I mean, there was a solid chain of events to lead this character from, the beginning to the end that explains, in my opinion, the major changes. I mean, it's a little unrealistic at some points, but I still think
it's still a movie. I mean, it's not a perfect 1-to-1 parallel of real life, but
no. But
I think they did a good job with it. Yeah.
It was well done, interesting, and weird and quirky, and there's so much in it to unpack.
I think it's funny that that Cuba Gooding Jr. got the job of, hey, intimidate Jack Nicholson, please.
I love, though, that the character is just like, I don't want to do this. I'm an art dealer.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to watch his buddy getting,
getting messed around.
Yeah.
But I think it was funny because it is it's funny because usually Jack Nicholson is the intimidating guy, but he wasn't in that scenario, and he did such a great job of playing a mousy. He has an intimidating presence, and at times he was intimidating, when he tells the children to shut up and stuff.
That wasn't intimidating. He's just like, shut up, kids. That was funny. I thought that was just
It was funny, but I'm saying, he has that voice and that presence and everything, but he's still able to play this very, shrunken down, mousy guy.
Is that really how you see his character?
In many instances, yeah. He becomes less of that as the movie goes on, but a lot of times Jack Nicholson will play, and this is what he seems like in real life, will play characters that are confident, characters that are bold, characters that, this character is the opposite of all that. This character is not confident in any way. This character is not bold in any way. I mean, he gets more bold. He takes some chances, but this guy is afraid. This guy is a wilting flower, really. He tries to project this exterior of I'm tough and fuck you and I'm better than you.
Right.
I'm just going to be mean to you verbally to keep everyone at arm's length and stuff. But it's to hide how vulnerable and scared he feels inside. And you get that. Like when he's skipping around trying not to touch cracks and stuff like that. That was what I thought of. I was like, what a weak man.
Aw.
But I mean, he plays it really well. Not in a, and if anybody has to do that out there, I don't mean you specifically. I'm just talking about how Jack Nicholson plays this character. That's how he plays him as small.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like in the very beginning when he's very mean to his neighbor and tells him, I'm working from home all the time. Mm-hmm. And you don't like being interfered with when you're working in your garden, right?
When you're prancing in your garden.
Prancing in your garden, yeah. And he's like, so I'm always working, so never knock on my door. And he's just being like totally mean to him. Mm-hmm. And I guess you can, he's just acting like it's just a facade. And then later he's so nice to him. But it's...
And you can see it's acting because when Cuba Gooding Jr. comes to confront him, and he's actually being tough with him, he's like, don't touch me, and he's in the corner, he's screaming for police, he feels powerless.
Yeah. Well, he also doesn't want... I mean, you could see the panic because he doesn't want to be touched. It's not... He wasn't afraid necessarily of being hit, I don't think, at that moment.
No, but see, that not being afraid to be touched and everything is part of his powerlessness.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like as someone that has anxiety, I can say that, not that anxiety is a weakness, but anxiety can hinder your strength in certain ways. Like, it's harder to be as strong of a person as you can be with having anxiety because it takes things away from you. Okay. Like, depending on how your anxiety affects you, but it takes things away.
For him it did, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he starts out like that, and by the end of the movie, he has hired a private doctor to help the waitress's son.
Yeah, Harold Ramis. He hired Harold Ramis.
And the next door neighbor artist, who we haven't talked much about, but he has the little dog.
Yeah. Verdell.
He is an artist, and he has somebody hire a model who, what they do is they hire a prostitute off the street.
Yeah, this fucking idiot, I guess, didn't find... I didn't quite get this. I think he was supposed to find a model, and he... like
an actual model.
And he waited till the last minute or something like that. And so he pulled into this place where he had hired a male prostitute before to have sex with. And because they say, you want again or whatever. And he's like, no, this is for a modeling job.
I need a pretty face, so he picks the pretty one.
So he says, Skeet Ulrich, you look like a young Johnny Depp. You do it. So, not you, Jamie Kennedy.
So this guy, and the part that makes me really upset about this is he mentions that they've been doing this for 2 weeks. They've been working on this painting. So he's been in his house every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this artist is a nice guy.
Yeah.
So he knows he's a nice guy.
Yep.
And he still, unlocks the door or whatever so his friends can get in and rob him and tries to distract him and keeps the dog in there and everything.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, at least I think the initial plan here was just to distract him while he's getting robbed. They weren't going to beat him.
Right.
But the dog barks and he knows something's wrong and he catches them robbing him. And they beat him with a
coat rack.
Coat rack. It's awful. Bashed his face in.
Yep. The one that wasn't Jamie Kennedy or Skeet Ulrich did, yeah.
So he ends up in the hospital and his whole life is crumbling. And so he's
got no money left because it's $61,000 in medical bills.
Yeah, because he had no health insurance.
Because he's an artist.
And then Jack Nicholson takes in his dog, not because he wants to, because he's forced to, because of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character.
Sure.
But he ends up not only taking in the dog, but eventually taking in the artist.
Yeah.
and, becoming friends with him. So, I mean, like, he starts out as such an asshole and then opens up to everybody else, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie. It was. It's definitely a movie that makes you feel things.
I want to talk for a minute about what the artist was saying, though, with his mom.
Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
What the fuck? He says that his mom had him paint her nude.
Yeah, a lot of times, apparently.
And then when his dad caught them, he beat him unconscious.
Right.
I don't understand that.
There's a lot of weird things going on here.
Yeah. Like, he's gay. So, I mean,
and apparently the dad knew he was gay for a long time.
Yeah. So it's like, there's no incestuous thing, at least on his end.
It's still fucked up.
But I wonder if there was on the mom's end. I don't know.
And has she cheated before? Like, this is weird. Like,
very
fucking
weird.
aberrant behavior here.
Yeah. I did not like
and
it.
it's just glossed over. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. But did you notice there was a painting when all his stuff gets moved in to Jack Nicholson's that looked like it was a little boy and his mom, and the mom was naked?
Yes, I did.
It made me want to vomit.
I know, I thought that too. When I saw that, I was like, oh, is that her? Like,
ugh.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the fact that that's fucked up.
It is
I
fucked
didn't
up,
feel like
right?
it got enough attention in the movie.
Yeah, it didn't. It was really glossed over.
Yeah.
And then he has a phone conversation with her later, and it's just like, they just have a normal conversation, and it's like, no. That's abuse. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, and he wanted to get money from them, and then he changed his mind, and I don't really understand why.
I think he decided that what he wanted was a relationship with them. It was like, it's your move next or whatever. I think he felt like if he came to them for money, then that's all it was ever going to be. And I think he decided that instead he wanted to try to forge a relationship again.
That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I don't really see a happy ending for these characters. I think these characters are all a little bit too flawed to have a happy ending.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be a cockeyed optimist, and I'm gonna say it's gonna work out somehow.
Well, I mean, if we want to believe the note that the movie ends on to be the end of the story, then sure, it had a happy ending ish though.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is what's gonna happen next with these characters.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get married.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I choose to believe.
All right. And what's going to happen with the artist?
No, that's what I meant. The artist and Jack Nicholson. No, I don't know. He'll one of the paintings of Helen Hunt sells for $1 million.
They should have done that. They should have shown that happen, I think. Since he
all of a
was
sudden
so
it was-
excited about them.
Yeah, all of a sudden somebody's like, or the whole collection or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, I want the whole collection.
Or it could have been Jack Nicholson.
I'll give you $500,000 for it.
I don't think he's rich enough to do that.
This is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. Or whatever.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that's what I think happens.
And I want that dog. The dog is super cute.
Brussels Griffin is the name of the dog. I mean, that's the name of the breed.
Right.
The dog's name apparently was Lucy.
Is that what it said in the credits?
Yeah, female dog. Verdell, played by Lucy.
Alrighty.
So, way to go, Lucy. Very cute.
Very cute.
But that is the episode for the week, everyone. Carol's going to tell you where you can get a Brussels Griffin.
I wish I want one. But in the meantime, you can check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com and write us at latefee1994@AOL.com and share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.